It's a side of Australia few of us will ever experience quite like this. Wild, rugged, remote, and in some spots, seemingly untouched.
It's phenomenal, I think, and it blows my mind even when you bring the camera up, because you can't really see it from on the boat, and you'll bring the camera up, have a look what was down there, and it's like, there's sharks for miles. There's so many sharks and dolphins and fish, and it's alive up there.
For some, it's work that takes them to the most distant corners of the country. But pleasure motivates them to share some of the beautiful and remarkable scenes that make up their everyday. Michael Pride is among the select few who call the ocean home for 6 months every year.
I needed a job, and a lot of my friends have sort of done it and worked out. Then I've always wanted to do it. A position came up, and one of my best mates got me a job doing it. And yeah, I had an interview with my skipper, had a couple of beers with him, and before I knew it, I was out on the trawler.
A typical year sees Michael head north to the Gulf to go trawling for banana prawns from April until June. Then from August through until late November, he'll be back on the ocean to catch tiger prawns. 2021 marks Michael's 6th year of going to sea.
You've got no idea how much work goes into the seafood that you eat. They're worth their weight in gold. In a banana prawn season, we take 7 crew, that's including the skipper. So you've got a skipper, the first mate, an engineer, a cook, and 3 deckhands.
It's not a job for the faint-hearted. Hauling in prawns and processing them means long hours, exposed to the elements, and it's physically full on.
It's a race against the clock. We've got to get these prawns frozen. We catch a few tonne at a time, so we've got to get them frozen. So it's a race to go as quick as you can to get them out of the hopper and into the freezer. Everyone's helping process the prawns. There's no one sitting down once it's prawn day.
When there is downtime, though, this is mostly what Michael does. Capturing the beautiful, the bizarre, the memorable and even the mundane moments that make up life as a remote fisherman.
For a lot of my life, I've always sort of played with cameras and that, but I've never really taken it too seriously. I guess it was going out there, I suppose having a bit more spare time on my hands and seeing so many beautiful things to film and photograph out there that sort of extended my keen interest in it.
Through social media, Michael shares what remote life at sea is really like. The unusual hours fishermen keep means often he's behind the camera at just the right time for that perfect shot.
Well, you get to see a lot of sunrises and sunsets. Being out in a place where you wouldn't really be able to explore as much if you weren't doing what we were doing, I guess. We get to see a lot of places that are quite hidden and quite natural.
The pictures from above especially show how isolated this lifestyle is. Although flying a drone from a boat on the open ocean can at times prove challenging.
It's very nerve-wracking, even trying to land the drone on the boat, because you don't realise how much the boat's moving until you put a stationary drone there and try and catch it and not hit anything at the same time. Yeah, it definitely gets the heart going. It's exciting. I think every time I land, I'm shaking usually. It's an adrenaline rush.
Photography also offers Michael an escape when cabin fever sets in. Unsurprisingly, that's a pretty common struggle in close quarters on a boat that's only this big for months on end.
In the 4-month season, there's only 5 people on the boat, so you're with the same 5 people for 4 months straight. It's pretty tiring. It's pretty, it's full on. We do the same thing every day. We work 120 days straight. We don't have a day off. Occasionally, they go swimming on nearby beaches or even go fishing for fun to unwind. And getting a glimpse underwater reminds them that although isolated, yes, they're never really alone. We do a bit of swimming and a bit of spearfishing and stuff when we get the chance, and it's always on the back of your mind, that's for sure. The sheer number of dolphins, whales, sharks and other sea creatures the crew encounters is quite incredible. And filming beneath the waves leaves no doubt that in the wild,
things can get pretty wild.
We put the camera down there and yeah, they're brutal. They'll go for it. If one's got something decent, they're not shy to go at each other at all. Yeah, no, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, definitely.
From the open ocean off the far north coast of Australia to the rugged interior, remote work offers a snapshot into the vastly different landscapes of our country and attracts people from all walks of life.
I grew up in Alice Springs on a station there called Undulia, and yeah, grew up with cattle and horses and all that sort of stuff my entire life.
Nikita Hayes works as a contract musterer together with her fiancé Luke. And although perhaps not exactly who comes to mind when you hear the title drover, it's a hat Nikita has recently donned.
We had a team of, I think, about 8 or 9 dogs and 8 horses and 2 bikes, and Luke and I and the horse truck, and we just had about 700 cows and calves on the road down near Young in New South Wales.
For the 25-year-old, it was an eye-opening experience. And thanks to her camera and drone, it was a journey she shared with her nearly 25,000 followers on social media. So Nikita, have you always liked taking photos? Or?
Yeah, I have. When I was younger, Mum gave me one of those little disposable cameras and I used to go down the creek taking photos and things like that. And
what do you like photographing the best?
I would say animals. I enjoy taking photos of horses and cattle and things like that.
And obviously when you're travelling or on the road, there are plenty of photo opportunities. That's something that appeals to you about that sort of lifestyle?
Yeah.
It's coming to say hello.
Hi. Yeah, there was a lot of opportunities to take photos of cattle and horses and dogs and Luke. Luke doesn't mind the odd photo.
It was at the height of the 2019-2020 summer bushfires when Nikita and Luke spent 5 months on the road, droving cattle in search of feed due to the crippling drought.
It was a new experience for me. I'd never done droving before, and we lived in the back of the horse truck. So we just showered with one of those 1,000-litre pods, and with a shower head, and that's how we showered, and we just lived in a swag for about 5 months. I really enjoyed living rough, like living in a swag, and I suppose it's not rough, but it's rough enough.
While it was the 700-strong mob that literally stopped traffic, this rather atypical drover also garnered some attention along the way.
We'd go into the pub and people would just say, "Oh, you're the blonde drover," or something like that, yeah. We met a lot of people and a lot of really nice people. It was great, actually. People would bring down food and groceries and things like that. And I feel like some people probably thought that we were just homeless and we didn't really have much. But yeah, one lady brought down a pizza for us one night, and they looked after us, they did.
For now, Nikita and Luke are living a more solitary lifestyle, contract mustering on a station on Queensland's Western Downs.
We've probably gone probably a month and a half without seeing anybody. So yeah, you're kind of stuck with each other. And we contract pretty much all over Australia, but at the moment we're just near Westmar, Queensland.
Luckily, there's plenty to keep both Nikita and Luke busy, and plenty of photo opportunities out here too.
I think everybody needs to just leave home for a few years and go and explore. Yeah, it's such a big world out there and there's so many different things to see and do.
Taking and sharing snapshots that reveal a slice of life lesser known to most, it's not just interesting and beautiful, but a way of keeping connected, even when totally off the grid.
I like showing people how different the world can be.
It started out as a hobby, and now the more I do it, the more I love it. I'd love to be able to turn it into some sort of a job or something one day. That'd be unreal, I'd love that. But for the moment, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.